We're going to talk about mutations in a developmental pathway. Using the network that I've written out below, I'm going to explain why the ectoderm spike cells in the mutant strains listed will or will not be able to produce spikes. We're going to talk about mutations in the P cell, mutations in the I, mutations in the I and E, and mutations in the S and K. Using the blue key to the right, the network reads S is activated, so therefore P is activated, I is inhibited, which inhibits K, and therefore makes E active to produce spikes. Now, looking at our first mutation, the P is what is mutant. So if the P is mutated, that means that it can't be activated, so therefore I cannot be inhibited, K cannot be inhibited either, and therefore E cannot be activated, so therefore there are no spikes formed. And then in our second I is what's mutated, so therefore I cannot be inhibited, so K can't be inhibited, and E cannot be activated, so therefore once again we have no spikes formed. And then our third example, I and E are both mutated, and knowing that we need the E gene to be activated for the spikes to form, so we know that without the E there will be no spike formation, so therefore a mutation in the E automatically makes this form no spikes. We don't even have to look at I because E is the key factor in this one. And then in number 4, both S and K are mutated, so with S not being there, P is not activated and I is not inhibited, but because K is also mutated, that means for once E does get to be activated, and therefore we do form spikes. Yay! We do form spikes in this mutation. And then my hypothesis for why all the cells in the ectoderm don't have spikes is because maybe there's a specific pattern for the spikes, or an excess of spikes will inhibit the beetle's movement because of the weight, or because they're in an awkward position, such as like a spike in like the junction of the leg wouldn't be very comfortable if every time you take a step you're getting stabbed by your own spike. So I feel like that's why spikes aren't all over the beetle.